Welcome, everyone, to the Biz English channel, your go-to YouTube channel podcast for mastering the language of professionals.
Yeah, really excited to get into today's topic.
Same here. But hey, real quick, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and get ready to share your opinions in the comments section below.
We definitely want to hear from you guys today.
We really do. So let's just jump right in. Have you ever felt this specific frustration? You know, you spend years, literally years, perfecting your English grammar.
Oh yeah, grinding through the textbooks.
Exactly. You build this massive vocabulary. You can read complex financial reports without, like, breaking a sweat. But then you walk into your first meeting at an English-speaking workplace, and you still feel completely lost.
It's like they're speaking a totally different language.
It really is. Because, well, the business world speaks in the secret code of idiomatic expressions. Suddenly your manager is talking about putting out fires and grabbing low-hanging fruit.
Right, and addressing the elephant in the room.
Yeah, and you're just sitting there thinking, I'm not in a zoo, I'm not in an orchard, and the building definitely isn't burning down. What is happening?
It's a really disorienting experience for a lot of people.
It is. Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today on the Biz English channel is to decode these essential workplace expressions so you can sound perfectly fluent, natural, and native.
Because, you know, these idioms aren't just slang. They represent the underlying culture of the business world.
They really do, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the phrases we use, they prioritize efficiency, constant action, and teamwork. It's the entire corporate mindset wrapped up in a few weird metaphors.
So true. Well, let's trace this. Let's look at the life cycle of a typical project through this language.
Yeah.
Starting with the launch phase, you know, from ideas to action.
Every business endeavor has to start somewhere.
Right. It starts with an idea, a budget, and the incredibly hard task of getting people to agree with you. Like, let's say you're pitching a new project. You almost never hear a native speaker ask for the exact calculated cost right up front.
No. Definitely not. They'll ask for a ballpark figure.
A ballpark figure, exactly. Which, I mean, that comes from baseball, right?
Yeah, it does. If a ball is hit anywhere inside the stadium, it's in the ballpark. It might not be a home run or anything, but it's in the right general area.
So in business, it just means an approximate estimate.
Right. You don't need the penny-by-penny breakdown yet. You just want to know generally what this is going to cost us.
Okay, but isn't asking for a ballpark figure just a clever way for people to avoid making a hard commitment?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you give a rough number, and if things go wrong later, you just say, hey, I just gave you a ballpark figure.
It is 100% an escape hatch. But, you know, that escape hatch is actually really important. It acts as a social lubricant.
How do you mean?
Well, corporate hierarchy can be super intimidating, right? If your boss demands an exact cost immediately, it causes panic. But asking for a ballpark figure
kind of lowers the pressure.
Exactly. It softens direct requests, making the whole interaction feel a bit less scary.
That makes total sense. So once you have that estimate, the next step is making sure everyone is on the same page.
Which is crucial. You have to be in agreement and share the same goals.
I always picture, like, a choir reading sheet music. If half the group is on page 4 and the other half is on page 5, it's just going to sound awful.
Yeah. Total chaos.
Yeah.
But once you're on the same page, you can finally go to your boss and get the green light.
The green light, meaning official approval to proceed, like a traffic light turning green.
Exactly. And then finally, you can get the ball rolling. You can start the project.
You know, when I hear get the ball rolling, I don't think of a light, bouncy soccer ball. I picture this literal, massive boulder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It takes so much physical effort, like overcoming the heavy inertia of a new project, just to push it that first inch.
That's a great way to think about it, because getting started is always the hardest part.
But once that ball is rolling, the challenge really shifts to how you execute the work, right? Do you play it safe or do you innovate?
Yeah, we're moving from innovation to execution here. And to succeed, you really need to think outside the box.
Think outside the box. So having original, rule-breaking, creative ideas.
Exactly. You want to be on the cutting edge, leading in technology or innovation.
Right. But, and this is the crazy part, at the exact same time, you have to cross the T's and dot the I's.
Which means paying incredibly careful attention to all the tiny details.
Yeah, you have to cover all the bases, ensuring every single aspect is considered so you don't fail.
And if you somehow manage to do all of that, you are seen as someone who will go the extra mile, putting in that extra effort beyond what's expected.
Wait. What's fascinating here
It's
is,
inherent tension, right?
yes, you are expected to be this visionary disruptor who thinks outside the box, but simultaneously you have to be this meticulous perfectionist who is crossing the T's.
It's totally contradictory.
It really is. It's like being asked to be this wild, eccentric architect making crazy blueprints and the strict safety inspector at the exact same time.
Yeah, it's a very difficult balance to strike in the modern workplace.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. We've talked about this ideal execution, but work is rarely that predictable.
Oh, never.
Sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen. Which brings us to our mid-episode check-in, dealing with the messy reality of work.
Things inevitably go wrong.
They do. Hey, real quick, guys, we're about to talk about the danger of relying on just one option, which in English we call putting all your eggs in one basket. Do you have a similar expression in your native language?
I'm really curious about this one.
Me too. Pause the video right now and tell us in the comment section below. And hey, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet.
Definitely. So, back to the messy reality. When you don't know what's going to happen, plans are up in the air.
Up in the air, yeah. Meaning completely undecided or uncertain, like tossing a coin.
Right. And when things are up in the air, you can't follow a strict plan anymore. You have to play it by ear.
Play it by ear, making decisions as you go without a specific plan. I always compare playing it by ear to playing jazz music versus reading classical sheet music.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Right. Because classical music, you read the notes perfectly, but jazz requires a totally different, spontaneous mindset. You just have to listen and adapt in real time.
And that connects perfectly to agile business environments today. Being able to adapt when things are up in the air is a highly prized skill.
Yeah. Companies love people who can play jazz, basically.
But what happens when playing it by ear goes wrong?
Oh, boy. Then you enter crisis mode. Navigating workplace crises is a whole different vocabulary.
It really is.
Suddenly you have a lot on your plate.
Meaning way too many responsibilities.
Right. Your metaphorical plate is overflowing, and because of that, you spend all day putting out fires.
Extinguishing urgent problems or crises that just pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah. And because you spent your whole day putting out fires, now you're playing catch-up, trying to keep up with missed deadlines or, falling behind your competitors.
And all the while, you're desperately trying not to go down the rabbit hole.
Going down the rabbit hole. Getting completely lost in minor details or distractions instead of focusing on the main agenda. Like Alice in Wonderland.
Exactly. Just
Yes.
tumbling into this endless distraction.
Okay, I have to stop here and push back a little bit. Just listen to how dramatic business language can be.
It is pretty intense.
We are literally fighting fires. We're sitting at desks in air-conditioned offices sending emails. But let me ask you this. Do you think people sometimes purposely go down a rabbit hole just to look like they have a lot on their plate so they can avoid real work?
Oh, weaponized distraction. Yeah, I think that definitely happens.
Right.
But, even though it's melodramatic, these intense physical metaphors perfectly capture the psychological weight of modern corporate jobs.
The stress, you mean?
Yeah, the physiological stress. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a physical threat and a massive project failure. So we use words like fires and rabbit holes to express that anxiety.
Wow, that actually makes a lot of sense. So to escape this endless cycle of putting out fires, what do we do?
A professional has to step back, get strategic, and face reality.
Yeah, you have to step back and look at the big picture.
Stop looking at the burning tree and look at the whole forest. Understand the overall situation.
And once you see the big picture, you can start going after the low-hanging fruit.
Which is achieving maximum success with minimal effort. Just doing the obvious, easy things first to build momentum.
Exactly. But you have to be careful not to cut corners.
Right. Doing things the absolute cheapest or easiest way, but compromising quality in the process.
Because if you cut corners, you will almost certainly drop the ball.
You'll make a massive mistake at a really crucial moment.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about the social dynamics of failure.
The messy part.
Yeah, because when someone drops the ball, everyone usually knows. But no one wants to talk about it.
Which creates the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room. The obvious, massive problem that everyone is completely ignoring because it's too awkward to discuss.
Everyone just sits there drinking their coffee, pretending the giant elephant isn't knocking over the furniture.
Exactly. Until someone finally gets brave enough to speak the truth and hits the nail on the head.
They identify the issue accurately and perfectly.
And ultimately, once the truth is out, Leadership has to look at the bottom line.
The final result or the main point of the situation.
Right. And knowing the bottom line, management has to pull the trigger.
Meaning they have to commit to a final, usually difficult decision.
And the ultimate consequence of pulling the trigger is that someone might get the axe.
They might get fired.
Get the axe. It's so violent.
This raises an important question, actually, about accountability. Because identifying the elephant or pulling the trigger requires immense professional courage.
It's hard to do.
It is. And by using these idioms, it acts as a psychological buffer. It sanitizes the human cost of firing someone or failing at a project.
Because saying someone got the axe sounds like a mechanical process rather than ruining someone's livelihood.
Yes.
Man, that is deep. So bringing all these phrases together into a final takeaway for our listeners, how do we use this, well, going forward?
Going forward, looking ahead, indicating a new plan or commitment to change. A classic corporate phrase.
It really is. So what does this all mean? Going forward, learning these idioms isn't just a vocabulary test.
No, not at all.
It's the key to sounding fluent, natural, and truly integrated into an English-speaking workplace. It shows you understand their operating system.
You understand the pacing and the unwritten rules.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today on the Biz English channel. Remember one last time to subscribe, like the video, and keep practicing your fluency.
But before you go, I want to leave you with a lingering thought.
Oh, lay it on us.
Think about this. If our workplace language is entirely built around sports, like dropping the ball and covering bases,
Yeah.
and tools, like hitting nails and getting axes, plus danger, like putting out fires and pulling triggers.
That's a lot of intense imagery.
It is. How did that subconsciously shape the way we view our daily jobs? Is work just a game to be won or a daily fire to be survived?
Wow. That is definitely something to think about before your next meeting. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.